All right, today let's take our third crack at my set of kits from Brazil by talking about Corinthians. And if you're a fan of the club, this might seem like an odd kit for me to show off, seeing as your home colors always have been all white and black shorts. The all white they take from their namesake, the club Corinthian FC of London. This is another one of Brazil's most successful clubs, having won 7 national titles during the Serie A era, with their first coming in 1990 during a final with their crosstown rivals, Sao Paulo. On the international stage, they've won the Copa Libertadores 1 time, and they've won the Club World Cup twice. First, let's talk about their badge. On the crest right here, you can see that in the center, they have the flag of Sao Paulo because they're from Sao Paulo, as well as around it an anchor and 2 oars, being from the fact that when they were founded at the beginning of last century in 1910, they were very successful first in water sports. Second is go through a topic we've gone over a couple times in recent videos, with that being the early 2000s, where a lot of clubs around the world had investment and financial issues. Corinthians weren't immune to that, and due to financial issues at the beginning of that decade, had an investment firm come in and buy a decent slice of the club. The story here is the same as with many other clubs at that time, with the investment bringing an injection of cash, which means new players with big names like Javier Mascherano as well as Carlos Tevez, followed by a championship that year in 2005, and from there, a decline in the relationship with the investment firm, and then a break from them in 2007. Let's talk rivalry, to the Derby Paulista against Palmeiras. The original source of hatred in this rivalry comes from the fact that Palmeiras was started by offshoot members who had left Corinthians. A lot of Corinthians fans find it kind of treasonous. All in all, that makes for a very compelling match and situation, and makes this one of the fiercest rivalries around the world. With a club this big, there are a lot of names from their past that you should know, but I have limited time, so let's just start with Joe, who's my link to the club, seeing as he came to my club, Manchester City, after his time with Corinthians. Second, and a fun fact, is that the Ronaldo, a player worldwide famous, as well as in Europe for playing at Barcelona and Real Madrid, as well as AC Milan and Inter Milan, and somehow being loved by all 4 sets of fans, retired and finished his career at Corinthians in 2011. In the current squad, I want to mention their goalkeeper, Cassio, because he has been passed over an immense amount of times by the Brazilian national team, and sort of understandably, because A Seleção have had an incredible amount of goalkeeping talent for his entire career. Trio players in their current squad give me the opportunity to talk about an odd concept of suspended contracts as well as loans that are happening as a result of the war in Ukraine. In Russia, a lot of clubs are suspending contracts for players, and especially foreign players, because they are banned from playing in UEFA competition. One of those players is Fabian Balbuena, who is here with his current contract with Dynamo Moscow suspended. Another manner in which players are getting out is just straight loans, with Yuri Alberto being a forward that has been snapped up by Corinthians on loan. And on the flip side of the coin, many Ukrainian clubs are loaning out players in order to get them league game time, with Maicon coming over from Shakhtar Donetsk. So that's your rundown on Corinthians from Sao Paulo in Brazil.